Pete'sTools.com.
G'day guys, Pete from Pete's Tools. Great to see you here again today. Another beautiful day here in New Zealand. I've had a few emails from you guys saying that once you've had your plasma cutter for a while, you can't get the thing to arc properly. It just won't arc. So I've got a few little tips and tricks for you guys just to watch out for. It might just help you out a little bit and might get you cutting just that little bit smoother. Anyway guys, same as usual, you like my video, subscribe, drop me a like, drop me a comment, come say g'day Pete at Pete'sTools.com, and I'll show you what I've learned over the years guys. Actually what I've learned over the years guys is never overlook the bloody obvious. First thing I'd do if you haven't got an arc or your machine is not even lighting up, go and check the fuses in the wall. Make sure your circuit breaker hasn't popped out or done anything ridiculous like that. Because trust me, you can overlook it and you think that you've checked it and you haven't, and you look like a right wally when you just come to realise you've got to flick the switch down and the thing will start again. I actually did that once with my whole workshop. The power went out and everything, and I went and checked all the circuit breakers. I mucked around with it for about 5 hours, got really pissed off with it. Rang an electrician, the electrician came round, went straight into my fuse box, flicked all the circuits back up again, and the garage lit up. And boy did Pete look like a dick. Anyway, these things happen, so what I'm just saying is, don't overlook the obvious guys. So once you've checked your fuses and that, make sure that your machine lights up. Like my machine like this, we've got the light coming on here. You can hear the fan going, If you've got any other lights up here, make sure that if they normally light up, make sure that they're still lighting up. Pull the trigger and make sure you've got air coming out. Hear that? So now we know we've got air coming out, we've got the fan going, it's cooling the machine, we've got the light on there telling us that it's going. Got no strange lights up here, so chances are it's going to be in the torch or it's going to be in the earth clamp. Anyway, let's go and have a look at that guys. Now once you've been plasma cutting for a while guys, there's actually vibration comes through these earth leads, believe it or not. And I've had it that this actually undoes itself. If it wasn't in there tight to start off with, the vibration over many cuts can actually make this loose, believe it or not. So if you haven't got an arc starting on your torch, once again back to basics, first thing I would check is this. This here looks like it's in the machine, but look. And what happens guys, I've done it with my welder, I'll show you that in a minute. It sits in here like so, and then it plasma cuts for a while. What happens guys, if you do that for a while, it vibrates and it burns out the socket here because it's arcing all the time on this vibration, and then you won't be able to just screw up your lead in there whatsoever. You're going to have to change this socket. So to keep an eye out for that as well. But if you've got a new machine, that's obviously not going to happen, but just make sure it's tight. See, exactly the same thing's happened with my MIG. So we've got the positive and the negative here. I was welding like this probably 6 months, it went fine. And after about 6 months, my weld quality seemed to drop off and it just didn't seem to have the power. And so I went and had a look at this a little bit closer and look. See that guys, it's actually burned out here. And it's also burnt the plug out here because what it's been doing is it's been vibrating in here. It's actually burnt the tit off here, so it can't be locked in anymore. So I'm going to have to put a new plug in there. I might do a video about that one day. But you know, that's just a trick for young players. So that's the first thing you got to watch out for. But obviously it's not going to happen if you've got a new welder or plasma cutter. But see how that won't tighten up in there anymore? You've got to sort of jam it in there sideways. And it's still not exactly 100%. But anyway, watch out for that. Right guys, the next thing you want to watch out for, I mean it's not going to affect you if you've got a new machine. But if you've had a machine for a while, check that your earth lead, your earth clamp here is still in good condition. Like I've seen them here where they've totally been worn out here, but they're still hanging on just by a thread and it doesn't give you a good contact. And what you've got to do to start your arc is have the good contact there to get it up and going. And also checking the inside of this here guys. So if you look in here, see this one here is buggered. Well, it's not really buggered, I'll keep using it. See this braid here, it's supposed to be attached to here. Just gives you a bit more conductivity. But like I say, this one here is knackered, but I would keep using it. Just keep an eye on it, that's all. Also check after you've been using it for a while that these haven't got great big pits out of the teeth. Because if you've got pits out of your teeth, it's only clamping it real loose. And you're going to have issues cutting. Because it'll start going when you start cutting. And that vibration as well, like I showed you in the other end where it plugs into your machine, it vibrates that end as well. And if it's not tight, it'll burn your fittings out. So that's just a trick for young players as well. And then go to the other end of it, like here, and make sure that this fitting here is in good nick, that it's not burnt out, that it hasn't got any pits or anything like that in there. If you're wondering what this is, guys, this is just an earth lead that I converted so I could use a pilot arc torch on a non-pilot arc plasma cutter. So if you want to see about how to convert this lead, I'll put some links in the description down below and just click them and have a look. So remember, check the clamp end of it and also check the other end that screws into your plasma cutter. So guys, we've checked the fuses, we've checked the plasma cutter machine that it all lights up, we've checked the earth clamp and we've checked the earth clamp fittings. So now the only thing that's left now is the torch. So let's get into this. Now I'll show you the basic generic torches that I use all the time. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I only use generic torches, and they're the ones that I know about, so they're the ones that I'm going to waffle on about, as you do, Pete. So guys, I'll show you what to look out for here with the PT31 torch, and this is going to be much the same no matter what torch you're using, guys. Even if you're using a branded torch, you're going to have the same sort of fittings. It might not be identical, but it's going to be the same theory, so just look out for these things. First thing you need to do, guys, no matter what torch you're running, you've got to have enough airflow coming through to create a proper arc to get yourself going. So if you don't know about your airflow, check in the description below again, and I'll put some videos about airflow for your plasma cutter. Now the next most important thing is, and we'll start with the PT31 torch, is your ceramics. Now you obviously got a cap ceramic here, cutting tip, swirl ring, and electrode. Alright, now most people with these things, and a lot of you guys are using the PT31 torch, you don't realise how important this little swirl ring is. Because if you look here, you can get cracks. So the swirl ring here has holes in it. It's got a hole there, and if you turn it around here, it's got a hole there, a hole there, and a hole there. Now what happens after a while, these things get brittle, or maybe you dropped it on the end, and it sort of like shattered it. But what it'll do is it'll put a crack between one of these holes and the next one. In fact, I think this has actually got a crack in it, guys. I don't know if you can actually see that crack or not. I don't think the camera's that flash, but if you can see that crack, can you see that hairline crack there? It's going across there. Now this one is still working, but it's only going to be a matter of time and it's going to crap out. And what happens is, guys, instead of your arc coming out of your nozzle here, what it'll do is it'll go to the point of least resistance, so it's going to just go straight out there, and it's going to short, basically, and then you're not going to get your arc out of here. So remember, guys, even though it looks like a useless piece of crap, just check that it hasn't got any cracks in it. It's very, very important. And the same with your shield cap. These get really, really brittle. If you've been cutting for a long length of time and you drop your torch, chances are you're going to put a crack in them. I've actually seen these with cracks up the inside of them. What it does is exactly the same as the swirl ring. It looks like it's in one piece, and it'll arc between the crack, and it'll go downwards instead of out your nozzle. Now another thing with these torches, guys, is this here. This little O-ring here is not supposed to be affected by the heat, but anything after a while with heat on it is going to get affected. So you might find it has little pits in it. What happens then is you screw that up. Once again, we get back to the airflow. It doesn't seal the air in here. You're getting leaking air coming out of here. You won't get your arc to strike. So just little tricks, guys. Just look out for them. And like I say, they're the same on any torch that you've got. It might just be a different style, different thickness, or a different sort of way they're doing it. But they're all running ceramic stuff, and they're all running these little gaskets and that sort of thing. Just check your own torch. Right, guys, so now we've got another generic torch that I use, which is an AG60 torch. Once again, it has the ceramic, so look for the cracks in the ceramic like I showed you on the other one. So once we take the ceramic off this one, guys, this has got a different arrangement for your cutting tip and your electrode. These are a screw-in one instead of a push-in one, and as you notice here, this is quite loose once again. So if you have this a little bit loose like that and you're plasma cutting away, it'll plasma cut good for about an hour and a half. But what it's doing is it's actually burning out the inside of your torch holder here, and then sooner or later you're not going to get enough current going through here because you've burnt all this out, and then you won't get your arc to strike again. So once again, sounds really basic, guys. Make sure these things are tight. And make sure they're more than finger tight, because if you only got it finger tight, chances are with the vibration it's going to just undo itself. So with this one, guys, we'll just unscrew them. Like I said, it doesn't push in, it unscrews. And then you got your electrode here. Once again, that unscrews as well. See, this is only finger tight. Make sure it's a little bit tighter, as tight as what you can, because you'll get that vibration again, and what it'll do is it'll eat out your gun even further down. So we'll take this one out here. Now you're saying to yourself, Pete, that hasn't got a swirl ring or anything. Aha, it has. Look down here, guys. Can you see right in here? There is a ceramic in here. Now this one here is built into the torch. It's not replaceable. So once it's buggered, it's buggered. But once again, you get hairline cracks in there. What it'll do is your arc will jump from the electrode to the side of this, and it won't come out of your cutting nozzle, and then you won't be able to strike an arc, and then it's a pain in the ass, and you get frustrated, and then you say this machine doesn't work, and it's a load of crap. You know how it is. I've been there, done that, guys. Trust me, you've got the t-shirt. So guys, now we come to the SG51 torch. So this one here, you get two options. You either get a plastic with a brass insert for your ceramic, or you actually get the ceramic one. And once again, that's got holes on the top of it. This version here is not so bad. You won't get any cracks in it. What this tends to do is melt. So you can have the same problem, but it melts a little bit and it'll arc through. But this is ceramic version of it. You get the same problem as with the other one. You get little hairline cracks on the inside of it. and what it does is it tries to find the shortest circuit it can find, and then it won't come out of the end of your torch like you want it to. So just bear in mind whether you're using this one or this one, you can still have the same sort of problems, but this will last longer than this. And the cutting tip on this is just push on like so, but once again we have a swirl ring here and they have the same issues as well. After you've been using it for a while, you see the little holes here, they get the hairline cracks in them. So what your arc will try and do is find the shortest way out, which is not through your cutting nozzle, and it just won't arc up. Same thing again with this, guys. This is a screw-in one. Make sure it's tight, because you don't want that like I'm talking about. And after you've been doing it for a while, you'll feel that in the torch as well, and you'll say that idiot that I was watching on YouTube's not that wrong, really, because it does go like that. And that vibration, guys, transfers all the way back to your earth lead, like I said, into your machine. So just keep an eye on that, because I'm real hot on that, because I've burnt out a couple of plugs and it sucks. So now, guys, we come to the last one of the 4 generic ones that I use all the time anyway, and this is a P80 torch. Once again, it just has a ceramic like that. It's the same as the smaller one, but a bigger version of it. I don't find these crack so much for some reason. They might just be a bit more beefier in the side. They just feel a little bit more solid. But once again, these things, because these torches will get really hot, you put your torch down quite hard and you'll shatter one of these. It'll just go bang. And you know what, guys? It normally shatters when you only got about that much left to cut and you can't finish your project. It's that bloody Murphy, you know, Murphy's Law. So the cutting tip on this is the same. Screw in like that. It's quite a bit bigger, this one though. Don't really have any issues with the cutting tips on these. The electrode's exactly the same sort of thing. Once again, make sure they're tight. That's why they're just not finger tight. That's why they have a thing for a spanner or a special tool to tighten them up, because it's that bloody vibration thing again, guys. If we look here, guys, see where the air comes out of here? So that, in conjunction with this, is acting as your swirl ring up the inside. So if we look down the guts of this torch, guys, you can see that that does actually have a ceramic built in, the same as the other torches. Like I said, they're all much the same, just different versions of the same sort of thing. So just make sure that it hasn't got a crack in it, but once again, this is non-replaceable in this torch. So if you find that that's buggered, you're going to have to replace your torch. Just some little things to keep an eye out for, guys. So guys, if you're having trouble getting an arc started, I hope that's helped you out a little bit. It's just nothing worse than you're getting so frustrated. Like I say, I've been there and I've done that and I've got the t-shirt. Like I say, guys, go to the most basic stuff first and work your way backwards. And when you first start using your plasma cutter, guys, don't expect to be cutting like a pro in 10 seconds flat. There's a lot of art involved in this as well. It's just, you've got to learn how to hold your torch and what speed to do it and all the rest of it. And then you'll be cutting like a pro in no time at all. I've been doing this probably for 12 years, so there you go. And if an idiot like me can learn, anyone can learn. Trust me. Hee-haw! Look at that, guys, another beautiful piece of garden sculpture. Yee-haw! So that's about it for this time, guys. Nothing worse than grabbing your plasma cutter and the bloody thing won't arc up properly. Anyway, guys, same as usual. You like my video, subscribe, drop me a like, drop me a comment. You guys got any better tips and tricks? If your plasma torch won't light, just drop them in the comments and let us all know, guys. Anyway, like I say, same as usual. Come say g'day at petestoolz.com. Check the links below to find out what I found in my dumpsters this week. And we'll see you next week, guys. See ya. Bye.
petestoolz.com.